It's time for another episode of MoState Update, the official podcast of Missouri State Athletics. Now, here's your host, the new voice of the Bears, Corey Riggs.
Hello, Bears fans. Welcome back for a new installment of MoState Update, the official podcast of Missouri State Athletics. I'm your host, Corey Riggs, and it is that time of year once again. The students are back on campus. Classes have begun all over here at Missouri State, and the fall sports season has arrived, and we want to try and help you get ready for all of it. On this episode number 21, we will talk about two different fall sports to get you ready to get out of the gate and face off in their first seasons of Conference USA competition. We'll begin with a sit-down with head coach Stephen McRoberts to discuss new coaches, new players, and a new season of Missouri State volleyball. Then we'll shift gears and head out to the pitch, where we'll talk to one of the most successful coaches and programs here in recent history at Missouri State University as we talk Missouri State men's soccer with head coach Michael Seabolt. We'll have both those interviews, plus we'll run through the on-campus comings and goings, what events you need to get on your calendar and get you ready as the fall sports season is ready to begin. All that coming up next on this edition of the MoState Update. Welcome back to MoState Update. It's time to talk women's volleyball with the gentleman who's entering his sixth year at the helm of Missouri State volleyball. That is head coach Stephen McRoberts as he joins us here on MoState Update. Coach Mac, how's the off season and the summer been for you? I'm sure it went by pretty quick.
It always does. It seems like every year it gets quicker and quicker. But the team had a great spring and put in work in the summer and has come in and had a great fall camp. Really excited to get going, especially with Saturday coming up and first exhibition match here on campus.
Well, we'll talk about all the stuff that is going on campus as we roll through here, but wanted to start by talking to you about some changeover on your staff, as you've got a couple of new faces. Let's start with Lori Endicott Vanderstick, a name that everybody that is a fan of volleyball in Southwest Missouri knows really well.
That was a pretty easy hire, and especially, not only her background and knowledge, but her attachment to the community. She's beloved around here, and for good reason. She's not only a very good coach, but she's just a great person and a great mentor for the young ladies on our team. So she has added immensely to our program in the short time that she's been here, and I'm grateful that I get to work with her.
And then Zarek Langley is a new name. What does he bring to the table for you all?
Zarek has been a practice player for us the last couple years, and then had the opportunity to bring him on staff as well. And I've been really impressed with the knowledge that this guy has. A lot of energy. We still use him on the floor to play against the team. He's uber competitive. The girls love playing with him out there. And so he has that good young balance of things that definitely I can't do anymore athletically. But also he brings a great perspective to the players as well as being a little bit closer to their age.
Well, look back on last year now. What's your assessment on the previous season? You ended up finishing, you had a win in your first matchup in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament against Bradley. You swept them, then turn around and take a loss to Illinois State. That wrapped up the season for you all. As you look back on it now, what were your grades as far as how the team performed a season ago?
Yeah, definitely not as well as we were hoping. And sometimes, this will be year 29 for me of being a college head coach. And the story isn't always written the way that you want it to. And even like currently, we've got a great roster. If we can stay healthy, I think we're going to be really good. But last year we had an injury or two at the wrong time to the wrong people, and probably cost us a few matches in there, and ended up limping our way into the tournament, but really proud of the team. We were playing good volleyball late. You mentioned we won the first round and actually had a legitimate shot to win in the second round. So we finished with some momentum. We lost some really good seniors to graduation, and so it's kind of a little bit of a rebuild, but we still bring back a good core of players from that team. But yeah, this team is looking forward. We'll have, I think, a good group of sophomores, freshmen to build with.
Well, you had two players that were recognized as all Missouri Valley Conference players in Maddie Bushnell and Rylan Finley. You had four college sports academic all-district players on the roster. How much of that group do you bring back? You've got, about 3 or 4 starters coming back from last year, so kind of turning over maybe half of the starting lineup?
Yeah, Rylan Finley was an all-freshman team player. Maddie Bushnell's all over the record book, along with Morgan Sprague and Kate Owen. I mean, again, those basically 4-year starters for us, so they will be tough to replace, but excited about the athleticism we have on our team. And I think we have a little bit more depth this year than we've had in the past. And you can see that when you come to practice, and we've had moments where we've tried some rotation work with starters, but also we'll split them evenly. And it's the most competitive matches we've had in the gym in the 5, now 6 years that I've been here. So that's been something we as a staff have complimented them to their faces about and talked about even to others, is that it's a lot of fun to watch them and coach them and see how much they really want this.
We mentioned Maddie and Ryland. When you talk about those players, you're talking about Willard and Republic. You've got 8 newcomers on the squad this year. Half of those players are from Kickapoo, Nixa, Ozark, Carl Junction. How much do you feel that high school volleyball has maybe changed or improved in the 5, now 6 years that you've been here in the Ozarks?
It's really competitive. I mean, and I've said this before. I mean, with the exception of coaching in Texas, when I went to Arkansas, when I went to Oklahoma, when I went to Mississippi, we were always leaving the state to fill a roster. And not only are we looking at these local products that we have that are very good volleyball players, but there's so much talent in St. Louis and Kansas City as well that we can pull from, and we've got some of that on our roster, and we'll have some coming in the future from those areas as well. So it definitely makes our job easier, because the talent in the area, for the most part, would love to come and play at Missouri State. I mean, it's the tradition that we have, the winning tradition. They want to be a part of that. They grow up coming to Hammond Student Center and watching games and seeing it and picture themselves out there. I've had players tell me that before.
That's such a cool story. What about new traditions now, though? The time in the Missouri Valley Conference is now history. Now it is Conference USA or bust as of July 1st. This is a league that you've got some experience in. As a matter of fact, you're 44-6 in your time as a coach in Conference USA. What do you expect the level of competition to be like in this league in comparison to what fans and your players may have been used to in the Valley?
Well, the conference is totally different.
Sure.
And I think we can say that about most of the nation. It's like,
sure.
If you coached somewhere in a conference 10 years ago, there's not many of those around unless you're up at the Power 4 level, and they've even added on. And,
they just keep growing.
Right, right. So UTEP and FIU, Middle Tennessee State, I think those are the only 3 teams left from my time.
Okay.
I mean, back when I was in the league, we had Houston and SMU and Central Florida. I mean, these teams have all moved on.
Was Memphis in there when you were coaching?
Memphis was in there. And so, it's definitely going to be a step up. And you can see that from conference rankings. I think it's about 5 or 6 conferences higher, above than the Missouri Valley was. You've got a team like Western Kentucky, who every year's top 25, and coach there is going to be a Hall of Famer. UTEP has had a great run lately, and in fact, last year had a legit chance to beat Oklahoma in the NCAA tournament. He returns a big core of that team, and you'll see that when the preseason poll comes out, that UTEP, Western Kentucky are pretty much going to be the ones that the coaches think are going to win this thing. And we don't play a balanced schedule, and we drew both of them.
Good. Oh,
so, yeah. So
welcome to the league, Coach.
Exactly. But we tell the players all the time. We open with a great Central Arkansas team this weekend, but also when it actually counts, we open with Oklahoma, and they're receiving votes in the top 25, and they're going to be really, really good. I think when you sign up to play Division I volleyball, that's the type of matches that you want to play. And so we're excited that we get those opportunities.
Yeah, Western Kentucky and UTEP both in the NCAA tournament a year ago. So that's another reason why those expectations are so high. When you look at your season now, you're going to start the road in the ACU tournament. Then you come back to Springfield, back to Hammond Student Center, to what is a staple on the volleyball calendar, the Dr. Mary Jo Wynn Invitational. How did you put together the field for this year's event, and who do you have coming in for that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting field for us, and after that first weekend on the road, we're actually getting 5 home games in a row, 2 weeks in a row, and that doesn't happen real often in the pre-conference, so we're glad about that. We've got DePaul coming in, Texas San Antonio, and Lindenwood. And Lindenwood's just made the transition to Division I the last couple years, and he's done a really nice job with that team. And so I'm expecting all 3 of them to be really good home matches for us. And, of course, what you're trying to do in your non-con is we're trying to win every one, but it's about preparing to get yourselves ready for Conference USA play, and then, make that postseason conference tournament.
We talked about you having 3 or 4 returning starters coming back from the squad a year ago. You also get some players back like Anaya Joseph. She was one that was really on the rise and then got sidelined with an injury late last season. How has her offseason and her healing gone, and what are the expectations for her going into this year?
When she's healthy, her expectations are really high for us, and she's still working her way back. But we're seeing progress, and so that's always a good thing. And she's been in practice. She's been limited with some of the things that she can do. But she, again, when she's healthy, will be somebody that's really important to what we do. But we also, like I said earlier, we have a lot of good depth, and Rylan Finley's there on the outside, Madison Crum, Peyton McKee. They're 2 freshmen that have come in, and I'm just going to be honest, like they've really surprised us with how they have jumped into the mix so quickly, and so that's a good thing. And
well, let's talk one more thing before I let you go about how busy a weekend you guys have here. Obviously, we're recording this on Wednesday. We're going to get it out for everybody, but to make sure that they understand, you have you've got your scrimmage on Friday, you've got an alumni match on Friday, and then you've got an exhibition against Central Arkansas. So Hammond Student Center is going to be humming Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we like to create. Hopefully not chaos, but we like to create a weekend where when the families come, they have multiple things that they can attend, and obviously we love having our alumni come back and be a part of what we're doing and be around the girls, because again, the tradition is so rich here, and we want that winning culture to come back into our program. So we love having them around, and again, we are excited to start getting fans back.
Oh, sure.
And that's when it starts feeling real again is when all of a sudden you kind of forget about the practice stuff, and there's actually this real pressure. And so, yeah, just excited to get this weekend going. Lots of opportunities for growth this weekend.
If people want to come out to the exhibition on Saturday at Hammond Student Center, what time does that get started with Central Arkansas?
It's 3 o'clock, and it's free admission. So last year when we hosted Arkansas, we had over 1,000 in the gym. And so a great opportunity to see two good volleyball teams, a good match. UCA's well coached. I expect them to be picked really high in the conference that they're in as well. So exciting weekend to kick things off.
It always is an exciting time of year. Coach Mack, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck this season. Come out and see them this weekend on Saturday as they host Central Arkansas in a tune-up before the regular season begins for Missouri State Volleyball. We're going to step aside. More MoState Update here in just a minute. Welcome back to MoState Update as we continue here in our broadcast position inside Suite 13 in the Great Southern Bank Arena. But we're going to talk about outdoor sports now as the fifth coach of Missouri State men's soccer history, Michael Seabolt, joins us now. And, Coach, summer is over. The season is here. How has training been going with the boys?
It's been really good. We've been working for a couple of weeks, and the guys have been working all summer on their own and had a couple exhibitions, actually 3 exhibitions, and those have gone well. And we're pretty healthy and pretty ready for the season to start tomorrow.
That's what I wanted to ask. With already all 3 of those exhibitions in the bag, obviously the live fire reps and everything is very important, but equally as important is getting through healthy. And how did the guys come through those first 3?
Yeah, it came through really well. And in fact, we got a couple of guys that were maybe had some niggles from the summertime that we've gotten them healthier. So that's really good. We had a couple late arrivals with different things. So those guys are kind of get settled in, but we're in really good shape, and it's a testament to the guys and what they do to be fit and take care of their bodies, and a testament to our staff and our training room and our strength coaches that they're looking after the guys really well.
What is the expectation for a team like yours in this sport as far as off-season conditioning goes? How many of the guys stay here over the summer? I mean, obviously you only have 1 or 2 American-born players on the roster. Most of the guys wanting, I'm sure, to get home. But what's kind of the expectation for their training regimen during the off-season?
Well, soccer rules only allow them to have voluntary access. It cannot be mandated. So we certainly give them ideas and things that we feel like is in their best interest, and we have detailed meetings with each guy about what their goals are and what they want to accomplish, and it's up to them to do it, but they've done a great job. They've done a great job on their own to look after their bodies. And then as far as being in person, we have a lot of guys that stay all summer. They enjoy being here. They enjoy Springfield. They enjoy Missouri. We've got some guys that come back in early July, and it's just a mix. But whether they're home or here, they do a great job.
You've had one addition to the coaching staff during the offseason, but otherwise, I think it's easy to say one of the best things you can have is consistency. You and your staff coming back almost all intact. Talk to me a little bit about your crew and then who the new face is on the team.
Yeah, Kean Yari's back with us. He was a player here at Missouri State and an All-American player, a top player, and now he's back in his second season as a coach with us, and he's doing an unbelievable job. And I think if he wants, he's got a great future in college athletics and coaching soccer or coaching soccer anywhere. Then Mike Akazestis has joined us back in the spring, and he's come from a D3 background and a really good goalkeeper coach, and he's been a good addition. And then we were so thrilled to add Keith Falk to our staff, and Keith's been an 8-year national team coach for the US U17 national team. He's played pro for a long time. He's coached to 3. He's played in a national championship, to a national championship, and coached to 2 national championships at the Division II level. He's an elite coach, one of the best in the country, and we're super lucky to have him here in Springfield. And he's a great friend of mine as well, so that makes it even better.
That's even better, but that's an incredible resume. Talk to me a little bit about the guys, what you're bringing back, and maybe we've talked about it on multiple occasions when you and I have sat down before about the amount of international talent that you bring in. Was that any more difficult for you this offseason trying to get new guys in?
No, it wasn't really more difficult. We've been through different things before. Well, obviously, COVID was a real challenge with some of that stuff. So and we've got an unbelievable team in athletics as far as admissions and admissions department, athletics in terms of compliance, and then the International Student Services Office at Missouri State is top class. Patrick Parnell, who heads it up, and Brad Bodenhausen, the vice president of the university that oversees that division, and then all of their staff. They're just tremendous. So we work hand in hand, and we know what we need to do to get visas and these sort of things, and we're just really proactive to make that happen. So it wasn't a huge issue, and we had a great recruiting cycle and a ton of guys coming back, and we're just super pleased with the group that we launched the season tomorrow.
Well, and not to bury the lead, but this is a team that will start the season nationally ranked number 24 in the country. I think it's easy to say, Coach, that I don't want to say it's become expected, but the amount of success that this program had at the end of John Leamy's coaching career and rolling into the start of yours here has just been as high as any sport there is at Missouri State Athletics.
Well, it's a very nice compliment, and I would just from a standpoint of promoting Missouri State, I would say it's one of the most successful soccer programs in the country, period, right? We're the winningest team in the country the last 7 years. We've won so many league titles. We left the Valley tied for the most championships in Valley history. So this is an unbelievable program that's put itself on the national stage year in and year out. And there's just so much work that's gone in for the last 40 years to make that possible. And we're just glad to be stewards of that right now. But this team is loaded for the season, and this is 7 years in a row we've been ranked, and we look to continue to move it forward.
Now, everybody around here, there's all these conversations about moving to Conference USA, and next week there's going to be a party in the CUSA and everything else. But Missouri State men's soccer was not invited to that part of the party. That happened to be one of the sports that Conference USA didn't offer the chance to play in the American. This is a power soccer conference. When you look at the way this schedule is going to lay out for you this year, how much more challenging is this going to be than maybe, say, what you've seen the last 2 or 3 seasons?
Well, what you said is spot on, and we don't feel left out of the Conference USA conversation, and I'm so proud for Missouri State to be a part of that, and I've seen and experienced that at other schools, and this is just a great step forward for Missouri State. And then for us to be in an American, like you said, there's 4 power leagues in men's soccer. The Big 12 doesn't sponsor it. The SEC doesn't sponsor it. So the power leagues are the American, the ACC, the Big 10, and the Sun Belt. And we're just so pleased to be invited in that. We feel like we belong 100%. We played Tulsa last year and defeated them. We played Memphis last year and defeated them. So this isn't a level that's different for us. And the Missouri Valley is a very, very strong league. And I'm not going to say that one's stronger or different, but this is a power league, big brand schools, big markets, and a tremendous step forward for our program. And we believe a tremendous platform for Missouri State, and we're going to go represent Missouri State very well. And we know some of these programs are ones that other sports at Missouri State would love to compete against. So we're going to go do it. We're going to set the standard, and hopefully be a flag bearer for Missouri State in the American.
No, I can tell you right now, I know that the preseason poll came out for men's soccer in the American. Charlotte picked number 1, Missouri State in a very tight group, 2, 3, 4, 5, got 1 first-place vote. Charlotte's a team that the football program has gotten at least a couple of players from Charlotte the last couple of years that have been very good additions. What do you think? I know preseason polls, they are what they are. The guys over there maybe don't know you as well as the coaches in the Valley did, but how have you found the other coaching staffs and stuff to be so far in the American as you've gotten into the scheduling?
They were incredibly welcoming. We've had a number of league meetings, and it was super positive. In fact, the day that we announced going to Conference USA, I got a text from one of the coaches in the American currently and said, welcome to the league. So it was right away they were embracing and recruiting us to be a part of the league office, and Bobby Wigan from the American, who's going to do a site visit here in a few weeks. They've been so welcoming. But yeah, I've not even looked at that preseason poll, so if we were ranked in some sort of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, it doesn't matter. And I think honestly, it would have been awkward if they'd ranked us higher than that. I think at the end, we got to go prove ourselves, and these guys have been in the league for a while, and it's our opportunity to go show how we can play and what we can do.
preseason all-conference list did come out. One of your midfielders, Alex Matthews, gets named to that. What sort of skill set does he bring to the club for you?
Well, he's our captain. So first of all, he's an unbelievable leader, just a first-class person on and off the field. Just nothing but positive things to say. And then on the field, he's everything you'd expect from a captain and a leader. He leads by example. He leads with his voice. He takes care of his body. He does it the right way. He's a super technical player. He's incredibly fit. He's willing to play any position he's asked. Just a tremendous guy. Stepped in and played left back for us last year and was an All-American at a position that he'd never played before. Just tremendous, and expect a lot from him over the next couple of years.
I've thought a lot about you and this team the last couple of weeks, because every day that I make my way to campus and I get out of my car and the heat in the Ozarks takes my breath away, I think about you and how often you're out running in the mornings, and then I think about the training of these players. How much has that heat affected you all?
It's not been bad. We moved training a little bit later yesterday just because the wet bulb, which is really the big concern, not the temperature, but the wet bulb was a little bit high, and it would have been okay to practice, but I didn't want to take all that out of their legs and out of their bodies in terms of dehydration 2 days before the first match. But it's a little cooler today. We'll go regular time, and but no, we got to get used to it. And we got games in Florida, and we got games in Alabama, and I'm from Georgia originally, and it's going to be warm in Birmingham, Alabama. There's no question about that. In Miami, Florida, I coached in Florida, Tampa, Florida. These are going to be warm places. So we just embrace it and get after it, and you get acclimated. That's part of why I run every day in the heat. So I'm acclimated as a coach, so I don't feel fatigue, and then the guys, they train in it, and they don't feel fatigue either.
If you're not sweating, they're not sweating, right?
That's it.
Well, looking at your schedule, it's another impressive one. 5 non-conference matchups early, starting with Seattle here at Betty and Bobby Allison South Stadium tomorrow night at 7:30. Hopefully everybody will come out and watch. If you can't be here, it'll be available on ESPN+. Some crazy matchup. You're going to Penn State this year, I saw on this schedule. That's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup, and we've played some Big Ten teams in the past. We've had good success with Maryland. We beat them the last 2 times we played them, including going there a couple of years ago and to start the season. But yeah, we want to play those matchups, and that's part of this league move we're talking about. We're in a power league, and we're going to play those games, and we're going to do it in a non-conference as well. And the great part is Penn State's coming back here to Springfield, so we're going there this year, and we're going to see the Nittany Lions here in Springfield in 2026. So come out to that game too.
Oh, that'll be fantastic. You're also not forgetting where you come from either. You've got 2 former Missouri Valley Conference teams on the schedule as well. You've got Creighton, which has always been a great matchup. You've got Drake, and the Drake game is going to be kind of a fun doubleheader night, right? Tell us about it.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. We're going to work with Springfield Public Schools and host a high school game. We think we know what schools it'll be, but we'll announce that as it gets a little closer just to be sure it all pans out. But October 21st, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be 6 p.m. Us against Drake, and then at 8:30 we'll have a high school match with Springfield Public Schools. And Josh Scott, the athletic director for Springfield Public Schools, is a great partner with us. And we did this last year. We had a tremendous turnout, and it'll be great again this year.
Former soccer coach in his time before getting into administration. Okay. I've got one more thing before I let you go, Coach. There's been a lot made. It's been, it's baseball season. There's a lot of talk about Missouri State and having a couple of guys on the Atlanta Braves playing in the Battery. They've got a pitcher in Pierce Johnson. They've got a catcher in Drake Baldwin, who may or may not be the NL Rookie of the Year, which is fantastic. You guys had a similar situation this summer in July, and it was honestly my favorite thing I saw on Twitter in the month of July, and that was Jesus Barea and Kyle Hebert trading kits after an MLS game. That, to me, as somebody who has seen this program grow over the last few years, to see 2 guys living out their dream at that level, it just was absolutely amazing.
It was really, really cool, and equally special for me and for the whole program. And if you're going to have this kind of success, it's built on the backs of top players working really hard and performing on the field. And those guys were absolute class and tremendous representatives of Missouri State, and they continue to be. And we're excited to follow their professional careers, and I know they're going to continue for a long time.
What's the scout look like for Seattle? Obviously, first game out of the chute. I know, regardless of the sport, it's more about what you guys are doing, and if you're executing, that it is them. But what do we need to know about the Red Hawks?
Well, they're really good. They were an NCAA team last year and got eliminated on penalty kicks. I don't think they're ranked, but They probably receiving votes, and they should be ranked. They're a really, really top team, consistently been strong, and it's a great match to open up with. We're so appreciative of them coming out here to play us, and they're playing us, and then they're off on the way to North Carolina after. So what a great matchup. They've got new players. We've got new players. We're not going to be familiar with everything about each other, but we have a good sense of how they play. They're aggressive. They look to go forward. They put balls in the box. They score goals, do a lot of things similar to what we do.
I was getting ready to say, it sounds an awful lot like Bears soccer.
And it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great test. Two juggernauts going after each other, and it's a great way to start the season.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the season. Coach Seabolt, thank you so much, man. Good luck.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
We're going to come back and wrap up this round of MoState Update here in just a minute. Welcome back to our wrap-up here on this installment of MoState Update. Let's get you a rundown now of this week's home events going on around the Missouri State campus. And it's all soccer on this Thursday, August 21st, with women's soccer starting the home half of their season for Coach Kirk Nelson's club as they will play host to the Kansas City Roos. That matchup begins at 4 o'clock. Then Coach Seabolt's Bears will take to the pitch at Allison South Stadium. They will host Seattle in a matchup that begins at 7:30. If you cannot make it to the stadium, both of those matches will be live streaming on ESPN+, but you ought to come out after the women's game. The women's team will be signing autographs, and during both games, both the men's and the women's soccer matchups on Thursday, there's free snow cones. So come on out and enjoy those with us. Meanwhile, on Friday, volleyball will have their maroon and white scrimmage at 5:30, then immediately followed by their alumni match, and that's always a lot of fun. More volleyball inside Hammond Student Center. Then on Saturday, as Coach Mack's team will have a home exhibition, and that will be scheduled for 3 o'clock against those pesky Purple Bears from Conway, as it's going to be Central Arkansas against Missouri State in the final tune-up before their volleyball season gets started. Meanwhile, the big event that we've had circled on the calendars for a while now, next Tuesday, August 26th, is the Party in the CUSA, 6 o'clock on the Missouri State campus, right where Bearfest Village normally is. If you're coming out to tailgate for football, right in between McDonald Arena and Plaster Stadium. It is going to be a blast. We're going to do a live recording of this show of MoState Update with a great lineup of guests, including University President Biff Williams. So you want to hang out for that. Also, food trucks, yard games, Missouri State student athletes and coaches, a lot of fun stuff. And if that isn't enough, around 7:45, everybody can move over into Plaster Stadium, and they're going to have a movie on the field at Plaster, so maybe bring a blanket and hang around for that as well. Want to talk about football and football tickets? There's a new mini game plan available if you're interested. $66 for a bleacher seat to 3 home games against Tennessee Martin, Western Kentucky, and UTEP. You can find out information about that mini ticket plan or any other Missouri State tickets at MissouriStateBears.com/tickets. Again, that's MissouriStateBears.com/tickets. Check it out. That's going to do it for this round of MoState Update. We thank you for taking part with us. A big thank you to our guests on this episode, head volleyball coach Stephen McRoberts and the head coach of the Missouri State men's soccer team, Michael Seabolt. Until next time, I'm Corey Riggs saying thanks for joining us. We'll be back in another week with a new episode of MoState Update. Thanks.
You've been listening to the MoState Update with Corey Riggs. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Missouri State Sports Network.